Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare states $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're diving into a quarter that looks ordinary at first glance, but hides some secrets that can turn a simple 25-cent coin into a collector's treasure. This is the 2015 United States quarter featuring the Kisatchie National Forest of Louisiana. And trust me, you'll want to check every pocket, every drawer, and every old coin jar after this video. On the front we all know the familiar face of George Washington. But flip it over and you're greeted by a wild turkey taking flight over longleaf pines. It's one of the most eye-catching designs from the America the Beautiful series. But what really excites collectors isn't just the design, it's the rare errors that slip through the minting process. One of the most sought after is the double die obverse. If you look carefully at the word Liberty or the inscription above Washington's head, some coins show a faint shadow, almost like the letters were printed twice. That doubling wasn't meant to be there, and collectors absolutely love it. Then we have the repunched mint mark. That's when the mint mark, either P or D, looks like it was stamped again, slightly off from the original strike. It's subtle, but once you see it, you'll never unsee it. And those little quirks can make a big difference in value, but the real stars are the dramatic errors, off-center strikes where the whole design is shifted, clipped planchets where part of the coin's edge is missing, and struck-through errors where grease or debris caused parts of the design to vanish. These coins don't just look unusual, they look unique, and uniqueness is everything in collecting. Most regular 2015 Kisatchie quarters you find in circulation are worth their face value of 25 cents. But here's where things get exciting. A nice double-die Kisatchie quarter can bring anywhere from $5 to $30 depending on condition. Off-center strikes, clipped edges, and bold struck-through errors can go even higher, reaching well over $100 when the error is dramatic. And special proof versions, especially the silver proofs from the San Francisco Mint, range from a little over $1 to a few dollars depending on their grade. Some rare error proofs have even reached into the higher ranges in auction settings simply because collectors love anything unusual. So don't overlook this quarter. Check for doubling, hunt for mint mark oddities, look for shifted designs or missing sections. Every Kisatchie quarter has a story, but some have a price tag that might surprise you. Top 2, we have a deep dive into a modern quarter that's packed with history, character, and some really intriguing minting surprises. The 2017 United States quarter honoring Frederick Douglas from the America the Beautiful series. Frederick Douglas was a towering figure in American history, an abolitionist, writer, and speaker who escaped slavery and went on to become one of the most powerful voices for freedom and human rights. This quarter captures that spirit beautifully. On the reverse, you see Douglas seated at his writing desk, pen in hand, with his house at Cedar Hill standing in the background. It's a thoughtful design, reminding us of his tireless work, his writing, and the power of ideas. At first glance, a 2017 Douglas quarter might seem just like any other piece of pocket change, but for collectors, some of these coins are far more than face value. There are a handful of rare minting errors and varieties that can make certain examples pretty special. One of the most notable mistakes is the die crack. When a die fractures slightly, it can leave raised lines on the surface of the coin where metal filled in the crack. For the Douglas quarter, some coins struck at Philadelphia, the P Mint, show these cracks quite clearly, and one example graded MS-63 reportedly sold in an auction for around $400. That's a huge leap from 25 cents. Another fascinating error is the grease strike-through. This happens when a layer of grease or oil sits on the die, preventing the details from fully transferring onto the coin blank. On affected Douglas quarters, this can make parts of the inscription or design look blurry or soft. There was a 2017 P. Douglas in MS-64 grade with this grease error that fetched about $50 in a collector sale. The subtle smudging gives the coin an almost ghostly appearance, which can be really appealing to error collectors. Then there's the improperly annealed planchet. This means the metal blank wasn't heated and cooled uniformly during production, which can change how the metals bond. On a few Douglas quarters, collectors have found strange color tones, purples, grays, even yellowish hues. One such example from the Denver D Mint in MS66 grade brought in about $130 at auction. That unexpected toning makes these coins stand out dramatically, even among modern issues. On top of that, some Douglas quarters show reverse doubling, faint doubling of letters or design elements, which might occur due to die misalignment or other pressure issues. This kind of doubling isn't super common, but when it's clear and in a high-grade coin, it can catch collector eyes. According to numismatic guides, these double die examples can go for $50 to $150, depending on how strong the doubling is. Of course, not every Douglas quarter has an error. The majority were struck normally and ended up in circulation, where they remain worth just their face value, 25 cents. Even in uncirculated condition, non-error versions usually trade for modest premiums. According to expert sources, a clean MS65 example without any error might go for around $5, while a pristine MS67 is closer to $20. For proof coins, the San Francisco S Mint made proof versions, these mirror finish coins are more limited. A standard S proof of this Frederick Douglas quarter is often worth about $4 to $5, and if you find a silver proof version from that year, those are more rare and could command around $10 to $15, depending on grade. Let's put that into perspective. From a simple 25-cent coin, if you happen to have one with a dramatic die crack, struck through grease, or unusual toning, you might be holding a hidden gem worth tens or even hundreds of dollars. That's the magic of error collecting. Small production quirks turn ordinary coins into little treasures. So, if you're checking your spare change, tomorrow's pocket change, or even rolls you get from the bank, give your 2017 Frederick Douglass quarters a careful look. Examine them under good light, maybe with a loupe if you've got one. Look for raised lines, blurry design areas, or funny colors. Those mistakes might just make your coin the star of someone's collection. Top 3. We're shining a spotlight on a seemingly ordinary quarter that carries a powerful story and some unexpected surprises. The 2001 United States quarter honoring New York State. Picture the reverse side, the Statue of Liberty standing tall and proud, framed by the outline of New York State, while a winding line suggests both the mighty Hudson River and the historic Erie Canal. It's more than just a design, it's a symbol of freedom, progress, and the gateway to opportunity. When this quarter was released, it was part of the celebrated 50 States Quarters program. For most people, it simply joined the shuffle of pocket change. But for collectors, the 2001 New York quarter holds hidden potential, especially in the form of minting errors that slipped through. One of the most thrilling mistakes you might find is a retained strike-through error. During minting, bits of debris, fabric, grease, tiny metal fragments, sometimes get trapped under the die. When the coin is struck, those foreign materials block parts of the design, leaving distorted letters, blank patches, or raised lumps. Some of these error quarters struck in Denver, graded in very high condition, have sold at auction for several hundred to over $500. That's a huge jump from the everyday 25-cent value. Another dramatic variety is a folded over strike. This happens when the blank metal planchet is misfed or slightly folded before being struck. The result is weird folding or doubling of the design, parts of Lady Liberty or State outline overlap or appear doubled. High-grade Philadelphia struck New York quarters with this type of error, when certified, can command prices in the $300 to $400 range. There are even reports of dual planchet strikes, where two blanks overlap and get struck together, producing a ghosting effect of the design. These extreme oddities can go for $400 to $500 or more, depending on how clean the strike is and how sharp the doubling appears. Beyond these dramatic errors, some quarters show die chips or small gouges, where the die was damaged and left little blobs or missing pieces in the design. Others exhibit missing or weak letters, due to grease or die wear. These kinds of flaws might sell for $50 to $150, depending on how noticeable they are and how well preserved the coin is. Of course, most 2001 New York quarters don't have any errors at all. They look perfect, they were minted in the millions, and you probably have a few in your pocket change. In those regular circulated examples, they're usually worth just 25 cents, their face value. But if you happen to find a crisp, uncirculated one, especially in mint state, those can go for around $1 to $3 raw, depending on condition and which mint struck it. If you're looking at certified coins, a New York quarter-graded MS-66 might fetch around $10, and truly top-tier examples, MS-67 or MS-68, can go for $40 or more, especially among collectors who appreciate bullet-sharp detail. The takeaway? Don't just toss that 2001 New York quarter into your loose change pile and forget about it. Give it a second look. Check under good lighting. Turn it, examine the surfaces, and inspect the letters. You might discover doubling, ghosting, or strange blank spots that could mean you're holding a small but valuable minting error. Even common coins can hide unexpected treasures. Top 4. We're diving into one of the very first coins from the famous 50-state quarters program, the 1999 United States quarter representing Pennsylvania, the second state quarter ever released. And trust me, this little coin has some surprises that most people never notice. So get comfortable, listen closely, and enjoy the journey, because this is one coin story every collector wants to hear. Let's start with the design. On the reverse, you'll see the Commonwealth statue standing tall, wrapped in flowing robes, with a keystone shape behind her, a reminder that Pennsylvania has long been called the Keystone State. Underneath is the phrase, virtue, liberty, independence. Simple, clean, and powerful. But while most people just see a design, collectors see opportunities for hidden errors, rare varieties, and valuable finds tucked inside ordinary change. The 1999 Pennsylvania quarter was minted in huge numbers, but large mintages don't always mean all coins look the same. In fact, this coin is well known among collectors for its rare varieties, and some of them can bring impressive prices. One of the most eye-catching is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't seated correctly in the press, causing the design to appear shifted to one side. A strong off-center Pennsylvania quarter, especially one where all the text is still readable, can be a true treasure for collectors. Another interesting error is the clipped planchet, where a chunk of the coin's edge is missing because the blank metal was cut incorrectly before minting. These clipped coins are always in demand, and the Pennsylvania quarter is no exception. There are also die cracks and die breaks, especially around the keystone and the statue's robe. These create raised lines or bumps on the coin, giving it a dramatic and unique appearance. Some collectors specifically hunt for these breaks because each one is literally one of a kind, but the error collectors really love is the grease-filled die error, where parts of the design disappear or look weak because grease got caught in the die. On Pennsylvania quarters, this can cause letters in Pennsylvania or Independence to fade, sometimes leaving ghost-like gaps that make the coin stand out immediately. Most people have never inspected their 1999 quarters closely, which means you might already have something special lying in a drawer, a jar, or your pocket right now. And now, the values. Here are the real market prices and auction values in words. A normal circulated 1999 Pennsylvania quarter is worth 25 cents. A clean, uncirculated example usually sells for $1 to $3. A certified mint state 66 typically sells around $10 to $15. A top-grade mint state 68 can bring $50 to $100. A dramatic off-center error can sell for $100 to $300. A clipped planchet error often sells for $50 to $150. A strong grease-filled die error can bring $20 to $50, and rare die break varieties can reach $50 to $200, depending on size and condition. Top 5, and last rare coin, we're taking a deep dive into a bold, iconic coin from the 50-state quarters program, the 2004 United States quarter representing Texas. This coin may look like everyday change, but for collectors, it can hide some fascinating secrets, rare errors, and even surprising value. Stick with me, because by the end, you might be checking your own collection to see if you've got a hidden treasure. Let's start with the design. The reverse of the Texas quarter shows a majestic lone star, the state outline, and a striking depiction of the state flower, the bluebonnet. At the same time, the motto, "Friendship," is elegantly inscribed, reflecting Texas' nickname as the Lone Star State and its rich history. For casual viewers, it's just another beautiful state quarter. But for collectors, Every detail can hold clues to rarity. One of the most sought-after features on the 2004 Texas quarter is error coins. Errors occur when something unusual happens during minting, and they can dramatically increase the coin's value. For example, there are off-center strikes, where the design is shifted noticeably to one side. These quarters can be mesmerizing, as the details of the lone star or bluebonnet might appear cut off or partially missing, creating a dramatic, one-of-a-kind effect. Another fascinating variety is clipped planchets, where the coin blank was cut incorrectly before striking. These result in a portion of the coin being missing, sometimes just a small edge, sometimes a significant portion. Collectors love these because they are naturally rare, and each error is unique. Then there are die cracks and die breaks, which appear as raised lines or bumps on the coin's surface. On Texas quarters, these cracks can run across the star, flower, or lettering, giving the coin a distinctive appearance. Each crack is unique, and strong examples are highly prized in the numismatic community. A third interesting error is the grease-filled die strike, where grease or debris obstructs the design, leaving faint or missing letters. On some Texas quarters, this can make Texas or Friendship appear weak or partially erased. Coins with this subtle variation are surprisingly popular among error collectors because they show a production mistake that makes each coin unique. Despite these errors, most 2004 Texas quarters are perfectly normal, with millions minted for circulation. In circulated condition, these coins are usually worth their face value of 25 cents. Uncirculated coins in mint condition are more valuable, and collectors often seek them for state quarter sets or their own collections. Now, let's talk real market prices and auction values. A standard circulated 2004 Texas quarter is worth 25 cents. A clean uncirculated coin typically sells for $1 to $3. A certified mint state 66 may bring around $10 to $15, while a top-tier mint state 68 can fetch $30 to $50. Off-center strikes are highly sought after and can sell for $100 to $300, depending on severity. Clipped planchet errors often bring $50 to $150, and coins with dramatic die cracks or strong grease-filled errors can reach $20 to $200, depending on visibility and condition. So, if you have a 2004 Texas quarter in your change jar, take a closer look. Even among millions minted, a coin with an error or unusual feature could be hiding in plain sight, a small piece of Texas history that could be worth far more than just 25 cents. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2004 Texas quarter, its design, errors, and collector value, make sure to subscribe, smash the like button, and ring the notification bell. Stay curious, keep collecting, and who knows? Your next valuable coin might already be in your pocket.